Hey guys, so in this video we are going to see how the game odds and evens work, and we are going to break down the game into multiple steps so it's easier for us to implement the game in our program. So basically I went to the Wikipedia page about odds and evens to see the rules of the game, and the rules are as follows. So we have the game is for two players. One of the players chooses to play with odds or evens. Then each player chooses number 1 or number 2. We add both numbers and we check if the result is odd or even. Then the corresponding player playing with odds or evens wins the game, and we repeat this until one of the players wins 2 times. So basically this is how the game works. And now what we are going to do is we are going to write all these steps, so break down all these steps into a way that it's easier to implement the game in our program. And to write these steps in our program, we are going to use something called comments. And comments are basically annotations that we can add that provide extra information in our code and that only us, the programmers, can read. So it means that the compiler does not care about comments. So let me show you. For example, if I wanted to write a comment here, I could use these 2 forward slashes, and everything that I write after these 2 forward slashes is completely ignored by the compiler, so only us can read it. So this is called a single line. Wait, a single line, yeah, a single line comment. So if I run the code, now you can see that I remove the console write line instruction, and if I write the code here, you'll see that we don't have anything here on the right. So this is completely invisible for the compiler. And if we want to write, we can write as many comments as we want. And if you want to write just a single line comment, just a single line, you can use this one. If you want to write multiple lines, comments with multiple lines, you can either use multiple single line comments, or you can use another one which is called delimited comment. And the delimited comment basically starts with a forward slash, and this one, how do you call this one? Sorry, this is a forward slash and a star. Yeah, sorry. So a delimited comment, you start with a forward slash and a star, and everything that you write afterwards is going to be in a comment. So you can see that as soon as I add the forward slash and the star, these ones here at the bottom are already considered to be a comment as well. So you can write whatever you want here. And when you want to close the delimited comment is the opposite. So you put a star and another forward slash. So now everything in between is a delimited comment. Just make sure once again that if you start a delimited comment, don't forget to close the delimited comment. Otherwise, everything afterwards will be also a comment, and probably your program will stop running. And so we are going to use delimited comments to write all the steps that we want in our game. So let's see. Step number 1 that we are going to implement is the user chooses to play with odds or evens. So this is the first thing. Now I'm going to copy this one. So step number 2 of the game is each player choose the number 1 or number 2. What we'll do here is that the player will actually choose number 1 or number 2. The computer will choose a random number. Now, step number 3, we sum both numbers. Step number 4, we check if the sum is odd or even. Step number 5, let me see. Oh, yeah. We see if which player is the winner. So we see that the player assigned to the corresponding odds or evens wins the round. Step number 6, we repeat until one of the players one of the players wins 2 rounds. And step number 7, we declare the game winner. Okay, so this was at least the way that I found to break down all the rules, and these are the steps that we are now going to use to implement step by step until we have the complete game. And this is actually something that pretty common when you are trying to program something, which is like break down the entire problem or your entire objective into smaller and more like specific tasks. So now we know, okay, here we need to deal with choosing to play with this. Here we need to sum both numbers. Here we need to check if the sum is odd or even. So now we have like this really specific task that we can just implement task by task, and in the end we have the complete logic. And yeah, so this is it. On the next video, we are going to start implementing the game. So I'll see you there. Thanks.